SeaWorld Orlando continues to carve out its niche as the coaster capital and still impresses visitors with its marine life spectacles. From the soaring heights of Orlando's tallest, fastest and longest coaster to captivating Orca performances, SeaWorld remains a standout destination in an increasingly competitive theme park landscape. Hi, I'm the Frugal Brit, and in this video I'll be your guide to SeaWorld Orlando to help you plan your next trip, covering all rides and attractions, including the all-new Penguin Trek hybrid coaster. Without further ado, let's dive in. As you approach the entrance, you'll be greeted by the sounds of splashing water and the sight of the port of entry lighthouse adorned with oceanic designs, signalling the start of your aquatic adventure. Once through the turnstiles, you'll head into the Sea of Shallows land, located in the southwest corner of the map, which is known for its shallow water marine life. Despite this focus, your attention will be quickly drawn to the sounds of our first attraction of the video, which is Manta, a 3,500 foot long flying coaster which first opened in 2009, remaining as one of the park's most recognisable attractions. You'll enter the queue through waterfalls and rock formations, and inside the cave you can view 3,000 marine animals, including 300 rays living in the Manta aquarium, which is located next door to the ride but incorporated into the queue. When it's time to board the Manta ray-shaped trains, riders are positioned face down parallel to the track. Upon exiting the station, the ride's theme music alerts all surrounding guests in the Sea of Shallows that the ride's 32-person trains are about to climb a towering 140-foot lift hill. This sends riders into a twisting 113-foot drop at 56 miles per hour, plunging you into a massive pretzel loop. A standout moment comes as you swoop close to the water, creating an incredible splash effect with water jets timed perfectly, making it feel like you're skimming the surface. Next, you'll soar past waterfalls and spin through another inline twist before the ride gently guides you back to the station. The remaining attractions in the Sea of Shallows are all animal exhibits. At the Stingray Lagoon, guests are encouraged to reach into the water and touch the stingray's velvety texture. Over in the Rescue Centre, visitors can observe the rehabilitation of vulnerable marine life, including manatees and sea turtles, whilst learning about the day-to-day operations of the rescue teams and their efforts to protect these animals. A short walk east brings you to Dolphin Cove, which contains a 700,000-gallon lagoon that's home to the Atlantic bottlenose dolphins. This makes it one of the largest interactive dolphin pools in the world. For a different perspective, you'll want to head to the underwater viewing area, where you can watch the dolphins glide gracefully beneath the surface. Extending the dolphin experience, we have the Dolphin Nursery, which offers guests the opportunity to witness the early stages of a dolphin's life. Next, we'll take a trip over to the Dolphin Stadium for the Dolphin Adventures show, which is one of the park's most popular attractions. This 20-minute show teaches the audience about the dolphins' natural behaviours, the threats they face, and the role they play within the planet's oceans. It features an array of impressive aerial stunts, synchronised swimming, and interactive segments where trainers and dolphins work together to show off their communication skills. A word of warning, sitting in the first 4 rows of the stadium, known as the soak zone, means you're very likely to get drenched, so might want to consider sitting further back. Next, we'll venture into the mystical Sea of Legends land, located above the Sea of Shallows on the west side of the map. One of its key attractions is the Journey to Atlantis, a coaster dark ride hybrid that transports guests to the mythical lost city of Atlantis, the park's most impressively themed ride. Adjacent to the ride entrance, there's the Jewel of the Sea aquarium that contains a range of exhibits, as well as featuring a plexiglass pathway that allows guests to walk over an aquatic habitat. In the queue for the main ride, you'll encounter various displays that delve into the myth of Atlantis. After leaving the station, the boat glides along an underwater canal, travelling into the heart of Atlantis before being led out into the open air. The first main drop sends you plunging down into a massive splash, captured by an on-ride camera. After a brief respite as spectators look on, you'll be led onto another lift hill that carries you back into the temple for a final face-off with a siren, the climax involving a spiralling descent through darkness, culminating in a final splashdown. Up next, we have the legendary Kraken coaster, the world's second largest floorless coaster and the park's first thrill ride. Riders board floorless trains where your feet dangle freely. The ride begins with a smooth right turn, gradually climbing a towering 153-foot hill. Once at the peak, riders are thrown into a 144-foot drop that plunges them towards the ground at 65 miles per hour, taking you through the first 128-foot vertical loop, immediately followed by a daring dive loop. You'll then whip past Mako's lift hill before entering a spiralling zero-G roll, giving you a moment of weightlessness. Next, you'll tackle the intense Cobra roll, twisting and turning through the air. After a quick breather on the mid-course brake run, the excitement resumes with a second vertical loop, later diving you into its subterranean lair with a dramatic underground plunge. The finale features a thrilling corkscrew, taking you into the final run to the station. Next, we'll head over to the Antarctica realm, located to the east of the Sea of Legends land and themed to the icy world of Antarctica, formerly known as the Sea of Ice. The park's newest attraction for 2024 is Penguin Trek, which opened on July 7th. Its replacement is themed around a research expedition. As you move through the queue, you'll encounter a base camp filled with research equipment and navigation tools. Riders board snowboard-shaped vehicles before beginning the dark ride portion of the ride, passing a penguin-filled landscape. As you venture further, you'll find yourself in icy caverns with the immersive soundscape of snow dangerously crumbling around you. As the ride exits the dark ride portion, you're propelled into a launch at speeds of 43 miles per hour into a banked turn onto a series of S-bends, which lead you to another 180-degree turn. After this, you have another launch with a similar series of twists and turns to follow. Keep in mind, Penguin Trek isn't the fastest or most thrilling of coasters, more of a bridge coaster. Don't go expecting a snowy velocicoaster. After exiting the ride, you can enter the Penguinarium, which allows guests to observe the penguins up close in a setting that closely mirrors their natural surroundings with falling snow and icy landscapes. There's also an underwater viewing area, allowing guests to view the penguins gracefully swimming underwater. It's now time to leave the icy world of Antarctica for the Sea of Delight towards the park's centre, themed around a seaside Mediterranean village. One of the most notable attractions is the Sky Tower, a park icon since it opened in 1974, soaring at an impressive 400 feet high. Guests can enjoy a 6-minute journey in a double-decker rotating cabin, which provides a 360-degree view of the park and the surrounding areas. Next, we'll venture into the Pacific Point Preserve, an area that recreates the rugged northern Pacific coastline with its rocky landscapes and ocean-like features, and offers the opportunity to observe and interact with sea lions and harbour seals in a naturalistic setting. Feeding trays are available for purchase, allowing guests to get even closer to the animals. At the centre of the Sea of Delight is the Sea Lion and Otter Stadium, which hosts entertaining shows that highlight the agility, speed and natural behaviours of these fascinating creatures. New for June 2024 is the Flippers Fact and Fun Show, which features the park's beloved sea lions, Clyde and Seymour. Although many will say that the unintended star of the stadium has become Tom the Mime, a big hit on social media with his silent comedy, skillfully mocking passers-by to the delight of guests waiting on the start of the show. As we make our way to the top of the park, we'll enter the Sea of Mystery, themed for the most part to the ocean's most feared creatures. Central to this is Shark Encounter, which provides an up-close look at a variety of shark species and other marine life in the 700,000-gallon aquarium. Visitors walk through a 60-foot acrylic tunnel, allowing you to be just inches away from these magnificent predators, each panel in the tunnel weighing up to 5,000 pounds to support the pressure from all that water. Next to Shark Encounter is Shark's Underwater Grill and Bar, the park's only table service restaurant, boasting floor-to-ceiling windows looking into the Shark Encounter aquarium, creating an immersive dining environment where sharks and other marine creatures swim by as you eat. The ambience is fantastic, but not the best value for money if we're being completely honest. Something that is great value though is hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future Orlando park guides. Next, we'll dive into the thrill of SeaWorld's award-winning hypercoaster, Mako, claiming the titles of Florida's tallest, fastest and longest coaster. Throughout the queue line, you'll experience modest theming featuring shipwreck and underwater motifs. As you leave the station, your journey begins with the heart-pounding climb up a colossal 200-foot lift hill. At the hill's peak, you're immediately thrown into an intense drop, reaching speeds of 73 miles per hour. You'll soar through a tall, overbanked turn, hugging the shimmering lake, before feeling the weightlessness as you float over the hill, only to be whipped around in a thrilling hammerhead turn. Another camelback hill offers more airtime thrills, followed by a series of hills that keep you floating above your seat as you race along the lakeside. A quick mid-course brake run leads into more turns and airtime, before a final thrilling left turn over the lagoon. Easy to see why this is such a fan favourite. Wait times can get high unsurprisingly, but generally not early in the morning, with it being located far from the entrance, so an excellent pick for the start of the day. Next up we have Infinity Falls, a river raft ride with 1,500 feet of track. The queue is themed around a wetland camp along a rainforest river. After boarding the 8-person raft, you'll set off on a journey through the rainforest-themed surroundings, winding underneath the remains of a wooden water wheel. You'll come to a small drop underneath guests on the unlocking bridge, and you'll proceed to a conveyor belt with water dripping from underneath the ride's main drop, creating some extra suspense. A number of flowing fountains, choppy rapids and splashy turns are guaranteed to get you soaked, so water-friendly clothing and shoes are recommended. Riders then enter a vertical elevator-style lift, rising to 40 feet in the air in preparation for the tallest drop of any river raft ride in the world. This surpasses the previous record of 36 feet held by RiverQuest in Fantasialand, plunging riders into churning white water. before a slow climb back to the loading area. Another popular ride, especially in the summer, I definitely prioritise this one for the morning. From Infinity Falls, we'll take a detour over to the Sesame Street land, designed to immerse visitors into the familiar world of Sesame Street, bringing beloved characters and vibrant scenes from the iconic show to life. One of the highlights is the Sesame Street Party Parade, where guests can dance and sing along to lively music with colourful floats and their favourite characters such as Elmo, Big Bird and Cookie Monster. There's also character meet and greet opportunities and a variety of child-friendly rides and attractions like the Sunny Day Carousel. On Elmo's Choo Choo Train, Elmo guides guests through his colourful garden. Abby's Flower Tower lifts kids up in colourful flower pots. For a gentle bouncy adventure, you have Cookie Monster's Cookie Drop. The main Sesame Street attraction is Super Grover's Boxcar Derby Coaster, featuring gentle hills, turns and mini dives, making it an approachable introduction to coasters. Now let's head over to the Sea of Power, which occupies most of the east side of the map. We'll start with the Icebreaker Steel Coaster, boasting a track length of 1,900 feet. As you leave the station, the fun begins with a unique switch track that shifts the track whilst you're still on it. Next, you want to hold on tight for the multi-pass launch sequence. First, you're propelled backwards over a small hill towards the vertical spike, before falling back down on the same track, climbing partially up a top hat. The ride isn't done teasing as you're launched backwards, this time throwing you up the 93-foot beyond vertical spike. The final launch sends you soaring forwards over the top hat, giving you an impressive view before plunging into a sequence of twists and turns. Next, we have Wild Arctic, a walk-through attraction that transports visitors to the icy habitats of the Arctic, offering a cool escape from the Florida heat. Visitors find themselves face-to-face with some of the Arctic's most fascinating marine animals. Among the highlights are the beluga whales, walruses, and harbour seals. Shifting from icy habitats to the beach, we have the Pipeline Surf Coaster, which opened in 2023, marketed as the world's first surf coaster. Riders stand on the surfboard-shaped trains with restraints that offer the freedom of movement to enhance the surfing feel. The ride begins with a heart-pounding 60 miles per hour launch, racing straight into a thrilling 110-foot overbank turn that tips you to the right. Next, you'll feel a rush as you swoop through the park's signature wave curl inversion, flipping you upside down, aiming for the sensation of catching a massive wave. The excitement continues with a dizzying series of twists, turns and spirals, ending with a sharp turn before the final brake run. Located near Sesame Street land is the Orca Stadium, SeaWorld's premier venue which hosts Orca Encounter, the current iteration of what SeaWorld has historically been most famous for. Guests are encouraged to arrive around 20 to 30 minutes beforehand during busy times of the year to secure good seats. The stadium was remodeled as part of SeaWorld's 60th anniversary celebrations, featuring a new wooden stage design and additional decorations to enhance the viewing experience. Expect to see spectacular jumps, synchronised swimming, and other impressive behaviours performed by the park's resident orcas. The show also features interactive segments, and by that I mean various ways to soak guests in the soak zone for some bonus immersion. Well, that concludes my tour of SeaWorld Orlando. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to check out my other Orlando park guides, including SeaWorld's sister parks. And to stay up to date with future guides, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. See you in the next video.